Oh boy, I thought I was done making videos showing how to do things with things and showing how to, well, at least for now I thought I was done with it. I knew I'd have to come back to this eventually. Today we're going to talk about how to add a or fake, we'll say fake scan lines, I guess you'd say. We'll imitate scan lines. We're going to make scan lines. We're going to imitate proper scan lines and put them into Pixel Game Maker. It's a thing that was coming up. I was confused. My last video talked about how to use filter effects and whatnot that emulators have, and apparently it's not quite what people were talking about when I tried to address an issue. I mean, it's still there. You can still learn how to do that, so on and so forth. That's not what we're doing right now, though. I'm going to show you how you can add scan lines to your game. Let's start off by saying that Pixel Game Maker doesn't... It kind of has scan lines already, but they're kind of meh, depending on the resolution. Like, if you use a really high resolution, they look better. But if you're using a NES, SNES, or just... or like for me, my games are all 400 by 224. Yeah, they're all 400 by 224. The scanline feature that Pixel Game Maker has isn't going to look right. So I'm going to first just give me a second here to get set up. I'm going to show you how currently you can do a TV effect, even though it doesn't look very good. It really doesn't. But I'm going to show you that it's there, and I'm going to show you that it's possible to use it. Alright, so first of all, let's click over here to the desktop thingy. Woo! The infinite of everything. So what I'm going to show you real quickly is, first off, what you can do with the software itself as far as screen effects, which are called screen effects. You can do what is called... We'll do this real quick. This is called analog TV, and it adds a rolling scanline effect thing, but in gameplay, during gameplay, it doesn't look very good. It's very dependent on resolution. Unless you have something much higher, it's not going to look like proper scan lines. It's going to look a little odd. So that's not what people are going to want. I mean, blur doesn't even look right. I tried using blur, and during gameplay, everything still has like a pixelation to it, so it doesn't really blur it at a higher resolution or anything. It just blurs it at the current resolution, so that's kind of meh. Then there's retro game console. Why is it all green? I've never seen a retro game console be all green like that. Maybe they mean retro PC? Like, I know old school PCs that were green like that, but it's just like, yeah. So I don't like that. That's kind of meh. It's not quite what anybody wants. Blurring it's still pixelated. It doesn't up-res everything as it adds the blur, which would be better, but it doesn't. Okay, so as you can see, I have a resolution of 400 by 224. That's the resolution I got when I took into account widescreen with classic resolutions. We have the resolution of the NES and the Super NES and the Sega Genesis, and so on. Around that range, I took, I believe, the Super Nintendo resolution. It might even be the Sega Genesis resolution, and I added to the left and right to give it a widescreen, to give my games a widescreen. So that's the resolution I go with. Apparently this right here, my game, was not something they were going to allow with that whole competition that they were having. Anyhow, okay, backing out. Now I'm going to show you how I do what I do when I do what I do. I'm going to show you how it's done. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you how it's all done. I'm going to show you. You're going to learn something. It's going to be good. Okay. All right. So I've actually started the process of this already, so I'm kind of ready. This is what I do. I start off by literally drawing scan lines. Like, this is literally the object. So since my game is, the reason I brought up the resolution is you're going to want to look at the resolution of your game when you do this. So whatever the resolution game you have, you're going to want to make an image that's the same as the resolution for your game. Okay? This might not work very well when it comes to games that do a lot of zooming in and out. I don't know how well that's going to fare, but if you have a fixed visual resolution, yada, 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 this will work. So since my game is 400 by 224, I made an image of 400 by 224. Let's zoom in a bit more. See, it's just black lines. That's all it is. And that's what I did, with a space in between, yo. So that's how that works. And then I saved it as Scanlines. It's saved as a document. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll cover that, even though I've already saved it. I saved it as Scanlines. There it is. Woohoo! All right. Yeah, whatever. Replace it. Whatever. But, of course, you're going to go to one of resources and then import it into your image resources. There it is. Ta-da! And then from there, you're going to want to make an animation. Already done. Already done. You can't really tell that it's there, but trust me, there are scan lines there. Okay, so here's the scan line image that I have here. I actually have it set at 12% opacity. Scan lines look best when you barely see them. You don't want it like, let's see, what's the total? 255? You don't want to go halfway with it. You don't even want to go to 50 or even 25. 12 is what I would suggest. Because scan lines look best when you notice them, but you barely notice them. And in fact, that might even be too much. Let's try 8. Okay, so you create the scan line image and the animation. It does nothing really. This is it. It's one frame. That's it. That's all you need. Then of course you go to your object. You make the object, which is scan line, and then you select scan line from the you add it to it. Just for this, I'm gonna kind of make another one just to kind of show how you would go about doing this. So add an object. There you go. Go up there and call it whatever you're going to call it. I call it, of course, scan lines. Then you're going to go blah, blah, blah. I can't believe I'm going through showing how this is done. Pick scan lines, so on and so forth. And then when you make the object here, you tell this to be this and be that. All right? Go here and make sure it's on not affected by gravity 100%. 100% not affected by gravity. That's what you're going to want. All right? So once you have all that complete, this is what I've done. There's one scene that appears all the time, and I'm going to add it to my other scenes as well, like the splash logo and everything. Since it's just an object. It's an object sitting and showing above everything. And the best way to do that is to use your menu scenes. Go ahead and close that. This is the best way to use your menu screen. So, all right, we already actually have that object in there. See, scan lines. I'm going to go ahead and delete it just so I can re-add it and show you how it's done. All right, so you go up here and you pick your object for scan lines. And the reason you have the 100% for the no gravity or whatnot is that way it doesn't drop. Otherwise, it'll drop and it won't stay in place. So put it there and then put it in like that. All right. And you can barely notice it even here. You barely notice it. You barely see it, right? Now, then this is the next thing you're gonna want to do is give a priority to it. Just take it way up there, just as far as you can, because you do want it over everything else that might show up. So you don't just 100. It's above everything else. So there's its display priority above everything. Above everything. Okay. And you can, of course, do it for all your other menu scenes or splash. You can actually, I just thought of this. Even though, well, you can do it on a splash screen too. You can just kind of throw it on there. In fact, we'll do that actually. Let's go ahead and do that. It's real easy stuff to do. Let's go ahead and do that. It's a good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of it before. Okay. All right, and then we, of course, right there, and we tell it to be 100% above everything. And we're going to go to this one right here. We're going to do the same thing here. I can't see it. Right-click just to get off of that. Grab it, and then it should snap right in place if you have the align to grid thing on. It should just snap right in there. And then, of course, again, we're going to want to go to we're going to want to go to, where the hell is, there's the object, and I need to edit this object. Why can't I edit this object? There it is. There it was. There's a way to tell this object to... Why are you acting so... There we go. Beats the heck out of me. I don't know what the heck happened. Of course, 100. We want it above everything. All right. Keep going down the scenes. Going to want it on this one too. All right. So scan lines. You know, just for everything. You know, you want it above everything. 100. There we go. Now what I'm going to do just to kind of show it being used everywhere is I'm going to actually set this as the start scene right there. It will start and splash in logo splash. All right. So then we test it out, and it should be noticeable, but not real noticeable. Yeah, see it? There's scan lines there. It's not super noticeable, but it's noticeable. Barely noticeable. Okay, goes through that just to kind of give us some bearing. Yeah, you see the scan lines even more right here. Individual scan lines up in there. It would be nice if they added effects like went on its own. There you go. You can see them still. They're just barely noticeable. I can crank them up a little more. But yeah, you can see the scan lines. My headphones have bass. I don't like bass. Okay. And of course, you can go in here and set however you want it here. Go ahead and put it at 20, 25. There we go. A little more noticeable. But yeah, that's the other thing I was saying. There's no effects you can add. Like there's no like darkening effect, lighting effect. Or I think you guys know what I'm trying to say here. This software doesn't have it. They need to add it if it's possible. Yeah, see, you can see the scan line a little better now. So let's there we go. There we go. See, scan lines. Ta-da! My guy didn't want to jump. Why didn't he want to jump? The sad part is if I hit reset, he's going to go back. It's going to go back to the very, going to go back to the very beginning of everything. Out of the way. Actually, let's get rid of the, I say get rid of the frame rate, you ding dong. Wish there was a shortcut key for that. There we go. But yeah, you can see you got scan lines going on here. Isn't it cute? Also, my water effects. I need to do a tutorial on water effects actually. So yeah, well there it is. There's your scan lines. And when I think about it, it might be better just to make them white. When I think about it. And I'll show you why I think it'd be better just to make them white. Lordy, lordy. There we go. I'll show you why I'm making them white in a second. Scan lines. I'll show you why I'm making them white, because I just realized something you can do in the resources. They're white, but you can actually change their color this way and make it black. You know, or make it blue, a blue scan line if you want to. Now, I don't know why you would want to, but there it is. And I wonder how white scan lines would look. Let's take it down to 12. I wonder how white. Let's see what white scan lines would look like. I mean, this is just one way to go about it. Man, isn't that cute? It's a little too much option, I'll be honest with you. There we go. I just realized that the pixel effect that I'm using is affecting scan lines. And not... On the first one anyways, it's affecting scan. It's not affecting the object, it's affecting the screen. I gotta fix that. I just thought maybe white scan lines would work a little bit. Yeah, it's one way. What they could do, and this is a suggestion also to the developers, is have some sort of effect layer or something to where you can add things over the game itself. Just as a thought, could work. So there we go. And now that's an option. It's there. It's not perfect, and I apologize for that. I don't know. That's why I was saying it's something. But they could, as a suggestion to the developers, come up with something that shows up all the time over everything that you can put in yourself. It could be right up here in the project settings, actually. I could add it here. Because they have these screen effects, they should have custom effect, to where you just overlap whatever object, animation, image, whatever you want over it, and do the proper scan lines if you want to. That's a suggestion to the developers. But there you go. That's how you can make a. That's how you can make a form of scan lines. It's something. It's not perfect, but there it is. You can play with that and try that out. It's not a perfect solution, but it's something. It is something. I don't think you're going to notice scan lines anyways when it's black. I don't think you're, because the black scan lines, everything fades out. It's going to fade out black anyways. I don't know. So there we are. That's it. Hope that helps. And I'm out. Happy pixel game making. I don't know what I said in the last video.